doing today? I'm doing a little bit different of a video today. I have some plants that I need to ship out to a couple of friends. So I have 2 boxes that I have to load up today. And I have to do it all before 3 o'clock, before the mail truck gets here. But anyways, I've shipped plants out several times to people. I have my own way of doing it. Everybody does, I'm sure. But I wanted to go through my process, and I'm not going to go through every single thing and every single plant. Well, who am I kidding? I'm a talker, and I probably will, but I'm going to try to make this video around 20 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to try. But the first thing I like to do is, when somebody wants some plants, Mary and I are trading. We're doing a plant trade. And I'm also doing one with another girlfriend. But I like to write everything down. Like, I have each person I have a list for, and then I started rooting them out early. So that's usually my first step in my plant trading process. Or if I'm going to give somebody a plant. Or just a straight cutting. It doesn't even really matter. But for shipping purposes, if you know far enough ahead of time, it's great to be able to root them out. But I have a lot of packing material that I save from, plants that I order. But for today, I have some paper towels. I have some newspapers. Let me move my cafe. I have some newspapers. I have some tissue paper, and I have more if I need it. But I also have little envelopes that I save that I can put plants down into, like some of maybe the more delicate. So I have some envelopes. I have some of these pillow pockets, I think is what they're called, that I've gotten in a lot of my packing from plants that I got. And then I've also got some other tissue paper, and I've also got just a tiny little bit of this here cottony stuff. And most importantly, I guess, are the plants are all ready to go. And I have my my box. I went down to the post office and I got a few boxes. So, and these are I think they're pretty nice size, pretty nice size little box. So that is what I'm going to be packing in. So what I want to do is I want to start out with, I have some spider plant babies that I just took off my mother plant. I'm soaking them right now, so I'm going to let those be the last to go in the box. One of the last things to go in the box on top, because they're fragile. And I have a couple of begonias. Those will go on the top of the box. But what I want to start doing is, I went through and I have a bunch of little baggies, and I just wrote the name of the plant on each baggie. That way, hopefully they won't run, but I wrote them plenty ahead of time so that they won't run. So hopefully. Now this is a trailing jade that I'm sending to my friend Mary. And I broke off one of the little leaves down here at the node, but that can also be planted to start a plant. And you can either propagate in water or you can propagate in soil, but I'm not going to get into that. That's not what I want to do here. But what I'm going to do is I've got a little bowl of water, and I'm going to use paper towels, and I'm going to wet them, wring them out, and then I'm just going to wrap this jade plant like this. You can use spag, whatever. I find paper towels work just as well. And then I'm gonna dry my hands off here. Oh, I had to move my camera. I felt like I was bending over, breaking my back. And then I'm just going to slide her down in here so that stays nice and moist on her journey, and hopefully gets there safe and sound, because I think we all know the USPS has been rather slow. And then I'm just going to put that cutting in there. So there, that one's ready. I might have to put them on the floor. But like this one I'm setting in a little pot because it is a Ruby Cascade, and that's how I root mine. So I'm just going to wrap some paper towel. I'm just going to kind of fold it like this. This will be the only plant that I'm sending in a pot. So I'm just going to wrap her. That's going to be too big, so I'm going to cut it so it fits around the pot nicely. And I watered this plant yesterday, so she should be fine. And then I'm just going to wrap the paper towel around the pot, around the top of the pot, like that, so the soil helps stay on, hopefully. And then I'm going to tape it down in. I'm going to tape it just on each side, so hopefully she stays secure in there. And then I'm just going to find my... Now, come on. I know I made a bag for that. There it is. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to slip her down in the bag like that. And then what I'll do is kind of fold that over, and then I'm going to take my newspaper here, and I just want a small piece for her, so I'm just going to kind of rip that, and then I'm going to gently wrap her up. It's because her leaves are so delicate. I'm just going to roll her in here like this. And I'm going to tape that. Okay, sorry about that. I had to shut that off because we had our train go by. And then I'm just going to wrap the bottom, tape that shut, and then you can see her in here. I'm going to just take the top, fold it over, and tape that shut. Hopefully that will keep all of her little leaves from falling off, because that is such a delicate plant. I think I am going to put all the plants that I've wrapped down here on the floor. And hopefully I don't have to get out. So now what I want to do is, I've got all of these plants go to her, and going to do, this one is a node, but it's already starting to grow out leaves. So what I'm going to do with that is, once again, take my paper towel, and I just kind of fold it like that, and then like that. Let it, in my bowl of water I have down here, and then in my little bowl of water, I'm just dipping my paper towel in it. And then I'm just going to wrap this node right where the roots are. Wrap her up. Trying to keep my hands dry so the writing on the bag doesn't wither. And then I'm just going to zip that bag shut. Like that. And then fold it over, and that one will stay like that. I left this on because I want it to feed down, and there is a leaf coming out right here on the side. So I'm going to set her down on the floor. And then I'm going to take these all out. These are all rooted. So what I'm going to do is, this is a black pagoda lipstick plant. She's really pretty. I'm going to do the same thing with her. I'm just going to keep wrapping in the paper towel and getting it wet, dipping it down here and wringing it out. And then wrap her up so she doesn't have any roots yet, but it takes a while for them to root. I prefer just putting them right in soil, but okay, and that one is my black pagoda lipstick. There she is. And I'm just going to do the same, stick her down in the bag. And then zip that shut. And then there she goes. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for that one. And then I have, this is a philodendron SP, or no, I'm sorry, Peru. And she's got a couple little roots on her. So I'm just going to do the same. I'm going to keep going through this process and going through this process. And pretty much right now with my plants is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to pause the video, and then when I do something different, which I'm getting ready to do here soon, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I also want to point out while I'm wrapping this plant up that if you're sending plants to people, I'm always very self-aware of making sure that the plants have no issues, no spider mites, no mealybug, no aphids, no nothing. Now, I just kind of had a freak out attack because, I have nothing, no bug issues going on in my collection right now anywhere, which, knock on wood, that's not wood, try over there. But I seen white stuff on my stem. It's rooting hormone. But I was like, what is that? Okay, so just make sure if you're sending people plants that, there's no issue. Because, oh my God, I, for one, would feel horrid if I sent anybody anything. Now, I've actually had plants sent to me, especially in the heat or the cold, where they come and they look fine, and then a week later they have mealybugs. you know, and I think it's just because of the extreme temperatures. That's why I always treat my plants with neem oil when I get them. That way, hopefully a problem doesn't come up in the plants. But I'm just going to keep wrapping. Okay guys, I wanted to show you this trick too. I'm going to move over here a little bit closer. But you take a paper towel roll. I just emptied this. I'm going to slip this jade plant down in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top in make 3 or 4 slits. Kind of bend it down like that. That way the jade will hopefully fit in here better. Okay, that's not going to work, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the whole roll. This is just protecting the leaves because they snap off so easily. So I'm just going to open that up, set her down in here like that, like a taco. And then I'm going to take my tape and I'm just going to tape it back shut. And that is really a nice protection for that plant. Or you can use, now I cut mine in half, but you know, if you got a bigger plant, you can use it, you know, keep it whole. So that's a good tip that I learned. I forget who did that I seen do that, but that was really cool and it works nice. Okay guys, this plant I'm going to do a little bit differently. This is a philodendron red emerald. You can see all the roots on that plant. So what I want to do instead of wrapping her, I put a little bit of soil in my bag and then I'm just going to let it soak up here a little bit. You don't want it soppy, but I just want to let that soak up here. Let all the soil soak in. And I can tell already that's way too much water, but yeah, way too much water. But I'm just gonna I need another bowl. Here we go. I'll dump it in here. Gotta dump some of that water out because I did get a little bit nutso. Get rid of all that. I'm just kind of squeezing it. Oops. I don't want the dirt out, I just want the water out. There, that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to stick her down in here like that. Just kind of shaking. And then I'm going to put some more soil in here. And I'm just kind of wrapping it. Oh, I forgot to close my bag in here. I'm just kind of shaking it down, and I'm gonna Wrap it up like that. And then I'm just going to take a twist tie, like off a bread wrapper or, you know, whatever. And then I'm going to secure the top of that. And then she's ready to go. But I've got another syngonium here that I'm going to do that way too. But I think when I ship her, I'm going to try to no, I'm not going to be able to put her up like that because then she won't fit in the box unless I put it catty cornered. Let's see if she fits catty cornered. Yes, she will fit catty corner like that. So what I'm going to do is just very lightly, so hopefully the leaves don't snap. Because I'm just going to twist tie these two leaves together. And then I will wrap her in newspaper like that. But I'm not ready for the newspaper wrapping on that yet. So there's that one done. And I also want to do the same thing to this syngonium. This is a green syngonium that Mary wanted because she loves syngoniums. But yeah, that's a note on there, but I'm going to trim that. There is a note on that. And then excuse me, my sinuses are going crazy. We went from 90-some degree weather down to 70-degree north wind crazy. Either the air conditioner is getting me or the weather is getting me. So with this syngonium, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the red emerald. I'm going to put a little bit, because you can see this one was actually a plant. This is the second plant that I had, and I didn't want both of them. So I'm sending this plant to her, but she's got a massive root system. I think I'm going to cut that off too. So I'm going to stick her down in a bag with some soil. As soon as I find the bag. Okay, I guess I didn't make a bag for that, so I wrote one out, and I'm going to let it dry for a little while before. But I'm going to wrap up. This is Mary's Florida Beauty. I'm just going to wrap her roots up. And then I'm going to do the same with her. Stick her down in this bag. Close it up. Now, I'm not closing these bags up all the way, obviously. You want a little bit of air to get in there so you don't have no rotting going on. But I'm also, well, I'm not going to be able to tie her. Well, yeah, I can a little bit. I'm just going to try to tie these up so they're secure and hopefully won't get broken. But these will be wrapped in newspaper also. So just kind of tie them up so they're secure, hopefully, and they stay that way. I'm going to move my coffee. And this, I'm done with that. And then now for the, let's see, what else do I have here? Well, let's do, I got her some cuttings off of my jade pothos. So I'm just going to do the same with that. Wrap it in paper towel and put it in the bag. Okay, so here is the green syngonium, and I am going to stick her down. I've got soil in my bag, and I moistened it down. Oh, it's all stuck together. Okay. I'm going to try to get all these roots in here. And I'm going to put a little more soil in here. Going to wet it just a tad bit more. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to zip that up. Just shaking that down there so I can roll this like that. And then I'm going to put a tie on this one too, because hopefully I don't want to have soil spilling all over. Alright, the only one left to wrap is the spider plant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paper towel, get that wet, and then I'm just going to, because it's so hard to wrap those, they're not rooted. They have tiny little itty bitty roots on them, but all I want to try to do is keep the moisture on. So I'm going to just try to get them like this. I've been soaking them. They've been in here soaking in the water for about an hour. So just kind of folding them up like this. And then I'm going to there. Now they're sitting on top of the wet paper towel. Now I'm going to start putting everything in the boxes. Here are all my plants that I got wrapped up. And my box over here. Can you guys see? Yeah, sort of. So now for the hardest part is trying to situate them in the box so that they are not getting squished. What I usually try to do is put the most delicate stuff on the top. But you know what? Let's be honest. When it comes to the Postal Service, our boxes get tossed and turned and every which way. So all you can do is really just try to protect them as much as you can. But I am going to I think I'm going to start with this plant and hope for the best. She is kind of long, but I'm going to try to slip smaller packages around her, like this one, up underneath. I'm going to try to slip that underneath. And then this jade plant I'm going to put under her. And then we have this one. I'm going to lay it in kind of crossways. Maybe I should bring you guys over here in front of the box so you can actually see how I'm packing it. How that would be smart. Okay, I moved my tripod around as best as I could. But I'm glad I thought about that though, because I'm like packing with the lid up and that is not going to work. The box is not that tall. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to gently lay some of this other stuff around. And hope for the best. You know what I mean? Just kind of pack it gently. Set that one down in there like that. Now definitely I want the begonias and the spider plant. Here, this lipstick plant I'm going to tuck in right here. Or maybe, I'll put that one right here. And then the red emerald, I'm going to try to... Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I've got some tissue paper. I'm just going to try to protect some leaves at this point. I'm going to stick some tissue paper down in there. Too many plants and not a big enough box, eh? Okay. Well, this little guy, I'm going to wrap her in some tissue paper just for some extra protection. And then I'm going to do the same for this plant. Just for some extra protection for the leaves. I think I can lay her like that. Now, the plants that scare me the most. This one could get tucked in easily anywhere. Now I am going to wrap the begonias also in tissue paper. I'm almost wondering if I shouldn't use but what I want to do is try to, these leaves snap off so easily. So I want to try to be careful. I mean, the stem is still going to be good, and you can still root them out if, you know, the leaves do snap off. And then I got one more, yay, I got one more begonia. I'm almost considering snapping that, cutting that leaf off, but I'm gonna wrap her also. Woo. And I'm going to try do it like that. I don't know. The begonias are so touchy when they have the big leaves on them. I'm going to hope for the best here. And then I'm just going to try to nestle her, I think, like that. And then I'm just going to lay these spider plants like that. And then I've got more. Got more of these packing pillows. I'm just gonna lay them on top. Oh, by the way, I did put these on the bottom too. Just gonna kind of do it like that. So that's it. That is all the plants that I'm sending. So now all I gotta do is make my tag up. I'm going to wait until I get my other box packed before I close this up completely. But I got to make my labels and take them down to the post office. So I know this was a really long video, you guys, but some people might be interested in it. Everybody does it differently. This is just how I do it, so or how I chose to do it right now. For the plants that I have and etc. So I'm going to let you guys go. You have a great day and a great week. Take care. Bye. Peace.